when it comes to physics, physics is always a quest for unknown quantities and unknown um, concepts. We start with the most basic entities and we try to work our way up to the more complex and mysterious entities. So the most basic concept in physics that I can think of, or that is covered on the AP exam, is the concept of distance. So let's say this is my bed, and this is the door of my room, and I am sitting on my bed, trying to figure out whether I should wake up or stay in bed because I'm too lazy. So I go to the door to check if anyone else is up, and when I see that no one else is up, I come back to my bed. Now, the distance that I have traveled in this whole excursion is, let's call this the distance between my bed to the door as d. So the distance is simply just the distance I've traveled is simply just the distance from the bed to the door, and then I move from the door back to the bed. So the distance I've traveled is 2 times d, or simply 2d. But what's interesting here is that I'm really at the same place that I started. I didn't do any actual moving around. I started at my bed. I was in my bed before. So I was in my bed initially, and after I moved to the door and back, I was also finally in my bed. So really, I didn't displace my body at all. So my displacement is actually 0. Because when I started, I had made essentially no progress throughout my whole journey. So that essentially is the difference between distance and displacement. Displacement is simply just final minus initial. How much moving did you actually get done throughout your whole excursion? Whereas distance is the combination of all of your motions. Whether you move forward and back, whether you run in a circle 100 times, your distance would simply be 100 times the circumference of the circle, whereas your displacement will be 0. So that's the main difference. Now in AP Physics 1, I think the exam likes to talk about displacement a lot more than distance. And so we're going to cover that a little bit more. And I like to use the symbol delta x for displacement and delta d, not delta, I'll just use d for distance. And so those are our most basic quantities. So let's go up from there.